Hey, hey, crypto family, and good morning. And it looks like my two cats over there are also getting it on and playing too. Been playing back and forth all morning. So, yep, it's definitely morning time here. I'm definitely getting ready for work. I got a little bit of time to kill, so I'm able to cut a video. And with that being said, before I jump into it, I'm not your babysitter. Do your own research. Let's try to dive into this stuff. Is it worth mining Ethereum in 2018? How much can you make mining Ethereum? I wish Ethereum was worth a little bit more. I'm mining Ethereum Classic with my rigs, and yeah, they could be a little bit more profitable. Yeah, it hurts to see the market down, but it doesn't mean that I'm mining any less coins. So that's the only real positive thing on this, is that the amount that I'm mining, it hasn't changed, but what it's worth has. But what do these people have to say on it after their bazillion frickin' ads? Wow. When it comes to mining of any cryptocurrency, it's important to look at the cost of the cryptocurrency. Yes. And also the cost of your electric, because you got to be profitable above your electric. And if you're not even, this isn't even putting aside how much your equipment's worth. If you just recently bought your equipment like I did, I'm still trying to pay my equipment off too. So I've got to take all of this into account on my ROI too. So I've got to make sure that I am profiting above my electric. This way I'm putting aside money that was originally used to purchase all the equipment. You would realize whether mining it would be profitable or not. At least 12 months of cryptocurrency Ethereum has increased by 20 times. Therefore, you might think it'd be worth mining. The truth is that you would have to look into the cost and thereafter take a call. Ethereum mining involves verifying the Ethereum transaction in order to earn cryptocurrency. This is what miners do. We validate the network, make sure nothing was double spent, make sure that nobody's trying to steal anything and trying to reverse transactions and stuff like that. So we give security to the network. And we get a reward for the electricity being used, our equipment that we have. We get coin from that algorithm. So you need to understand that you are basically lending the processing power of your mining rig in order to verify transactions. As a set number of transactions are verified, you'll be able to earn cryptocurrency. There are a few factors which you have to look at while starting the mining operation. Only once you are going to have the right hardware, you will be able to mine Ethereum profitably. Hash rates are the rate at which the mathematical problem is solved in order to verify the transaction. The higher the hash rate, the better the Ethereum mining capability is. What they're meaning there is that the more equipment you have mining on an algorithm, the more competitive you are. It's basically a race. So every time there is a block, let's just take, for instance, it's a physical block. And once that block is filled, it gets put right out onto the internet, and then it's a race. For a mining equipment like mine, it's a race to see who can get to it first. Whoever gets to it first and goes, bink, I got it, it's solved, we're good, go on to the next one, I get paid. Or the mining pool that I'm a part of, I should say, gets paid. So it's like I don't have a big enough of a mining operation that I can solo mine. So without solo mining, I'm mining in a bigger group. So every time my mining rig finds a block, it helps the whole pool get paid. And you get paid upon how much hash power you've submitted in. It means that how many shares you're going to get. But remember, it is a competition. You've got to get there quick. So the more equipment you have, the better off you are. Ethereum network has been designed in such a way that in any particular instance of time, there can only be a few coins which can be mined. Therefore, the hash rate would keep on increasing, and the difficulty level would keep on increasing as well as more miners join the fray. So as more mining equipment comes on, the competition gets bigger. And with that competition means that the chance of you finding a block now are decreasing unless you yourself can add more equipment on and make yourself more competitive again. That's just kind of how it works, unfortunately. And then you have to also look at the cost of electricity consumption before deciding whether Ethereum mining can be affordable for you or not. In many cases, the amount of electricity which is consumed is significantly higher, which makes Ethereum mining unprofitable. Actually, it depends. I mean, I was on another algorithm mining Bitcoin private, which that was very CPU and core hardcore, and which it made me have to bump my power level to my graphics card up a lot higher, which that meant that I was using way more electricity than I am on Ethereum or Ethereum Classic. I'm actually able to dial back the power a little bit, which makes me a little bit more efficient, and then I'm not dealing with the heat, which also means that I'm a little bit more efficient on that because I don't have all the cooling problems. You need to understand that all of these variables can change depending on the location and the time period in which you're mining. Like for me, I'm going into winter time now. During the summer, I had 2 fans going, and they were exhausting out. Now I've got one of those fans going, and a smaller set, and they're intaking into the house, and I'm pushing the warm air from my mining rigs through my house. So I'm actually warming my house up, and it's a beautiful 75 degrees in my house, and it's like 31 degrees outside right now. I like it. For me, it's a win. You need to understand. Okay, so moreover, you have to look at the hardware cost as well when you're taking into account of all of these variables. It'll be easy for you to find out whether Ethereum mining can be profitable for you or not. Also, you would be investing in a lot of upfront in an Ethereum mining rig. Therefore, you have to calculate the cost of those finances as well. Yes, mining equipment is not cheap. The motherboard, power supply, cheap. CPU, cheap. RAM, expensive. Graphics cards, really expensive. So you kind of have to figure out what card you want to go with. Right now, I'm holding off on buying more cards myself, just because I want to see what AMD's got up their sleeve coming up. They're talking about the RX 680 lineup, and I'm saving my money to get a couple of those, because I think that those are going to be phenomenal to mine on. Not so much gaming. I'll game on NVIDIA, but when it comes down to mining, I think AMD's got it down. Thus, when you're looking into Ethereum mining and trying to find out whether it's profitable or not, you have to look into these few factors. After you have looked into these factors, you'll realize whether cryptocurrency is profitable for you or not. The only way to utilize Ethereum is with the product from mining. However, mining Ethereum means more than increasing the volume of ether in circulation. It also is necessary for securing the Ethereum network. That's what us miners do. It creates, verifies, publishes propagates blocks in the blockchain. Basically, we're doing all the work after the developers. This is a constant question, especially now that the price of Ethereum is rising. This year, Ethereum has seen almost a 20x jump in price. According to the text writer, and this increase has led people who hadn't considered cryptocurrency to sit down and become suddenly extremely interested when this happens. I believe that most of the biggest profits have already been made. Well, it's of course, Ethereum has come down in price probably since they were starting this article up and everything. I mean, it's retraced down to, I don't even know, I think it's around $200 right now. For me, mining Ethereum directly is just barely profitable. It would take me a little bit longer to ROI my equipment than being on like Ethereum Classic. I'm glad that the devs look like they're not going to be able to release Constantinople, which is going to reduce the block. Going to have a block reduction, so it's going to go from 3 to 2. And once that happens, you're going to see all those miners kind of scatter away until the network difficulty drops down to where that 2-block reward is worth it. So that's why, it's like, and then I'm also looking at some speculative coins too, but that'll be for another time. Tags Ethereum mining in 2018. Ethereum mining calculators. How much can you make mining Ethereum? These are all these are just the end of the article, it looks like. So that's just where they got some of their information from. But yeah, I mean, that's just my viewpoint on this. I mean, Ethereum is not the go-to for me for mining, especially for my area. I pay too much in electricity for it to be worth it in my book. Like 10 cents a kilowatt hour. If I had more commercial rating power at like 4 cents a kilowatt hour, I might consider it. But it's like I'm going to be looking at, changing up my rigs onto another coin soon, leaving my ASICs alone on Ethereum Classic. For Ethereum rigs, I mean, the ASICs for me are the way to go. Way better power consumption, price of the equipment's a lot less, so ROIing on my E3 miners is going to be a lot easier than it would be to do on my graphics card rigs, which I'm spending $1,000 to $1,500 more on to do the same amount of hash power. So would I be buying GPU rigs to specifically mine Ethereum Classic or Ethereum? I'd be holding off until I might buy, a few Ethereum E3 miners. I've already done that. But am I going to be buying more? Probably not. I want to know if this Constantinople is actually going to happen and how much this is going to affect all GPU and ASIC mining. So, with that being said, what's your thoughts on it? Drop a comment in down below while you're down there. Smash the like button. Hit the notification bell, subscribe, all them good stuff, and of course, I will see you guys next time.